Welcome in. It has been a while since we're glad that you guys are here. Again, thank you for sticking around after I took a week off since my dad came to town. And so we didn't go live on Tuesday or Thursday. And man, a metric ton of stuff has happened in Ole Miss sports land since the last time we have gotten together, including the story of the night. Ole Miss locked up a host site. We will get the full field tomorrow. So I know the overwhelming majority of you listen to this, 24 hours or beyond after. The field will already be announced for Ole Miss by the time this comes out. But that's okay because there's a lot to talk about over the weekend. We will be back live on Tuesday to talk about the field and things like that. So for now, that's what we're talking about on this edition of the show. Ole Miss locks up a host site thanks to a deep run in the SEC tournament where they knocked off one of the hottest teams in the country and then, just the best of the best on their way to the SEC championship, losing, of course, 3-2 to Vanderbilt today, but still an outstanding week of pitching for Ole Miss. So we'll talk about that. The host sites, read your comments as well on this edition of the show. This is the Rebel Report again. My name is Michael Borky. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you have not already at Michael Borky, Borkey. And wherever you get your podcast, don't forget to subscribe to the Rebel Report. Just search the name Rebel Report, and you can get it anywhere. And subscribe if you like what you hear and leave a rating and a review. And don't forget that right here on YouTube, if you're watching or listening right here live with me or over on Super Talk, don't forget to subscribe and also leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. I read them even if you're not live with me. So looking forward to having you guys there or here, even if you're not here live. Before we get into anything else, I want to tell you the podcast is brought to you in part by Toyota of Brookhaven. I know not all of you live in Brookhaven, but the overwhelming majority of you guys live in Mississippi, and there is a great car buying experience right off of Exit 40 in Brookhaven. And you don't just want to car shop with somebody in your backyard. You want to make sure you go somewhere that's going to take care of you, and that's what will happen at Toyota of Brookhaven. And sidebar, they have one of the highest rated service departments in the state. Monday through Friday, any maker model, they'll take care of you there. Also, tell them I sent you, and you'll get $1,000 any in-stock new Toyota on me. $1,000 off before anything else. $1,000 on me if you just tell them that I sent you at Toyota of Brookhaven. And they've got great used inventory as well. Incredible interest rates on new Tundras. If you're looking for a new truck, check them out. Toyota of Brookhaven. They will deliver. So, Ole Miss locks up a host. We'll go through those quickly, then we'll get back to it if that makes sense. So Ole Miss will be hosting in Oxford, as you guys know already. They did not announce seeding tonight. That will all come tomorrow. They just announced the host sites in alphabetical order. That's all they did. And so here's who they are. Obviously, Oxford and Ole Miss. Georgia, Auburn, Texas, LSU, all hosting. North Carolina, Clemson, Coastal Carolina, Oregon State, Oregon, Arkansas, Southern Miss. That one could be a little controversial, I suppose, especially for Alabama people. Tennessee, also controversial to some. UCLA, I can't stand that selection myself. Vanderbilt and Florida State. Those are your 16 host sites. Postseason baseball is returning to Swayze Field, and that is exactly where it belongs. It has been far too long since Ole Miss has played postseason baseball in that ballpark. It's been far too long, and it'll be very good to see that come back because, you guys know it. I've been to regionals in Oxford, as you guys have, and very few places in the country do it in the way that you guys do it, and that's what that ballpark was built for. To be honest with you, I'm really happy for a lot of the local business owners that are going to get a really nice boost this weekend. It's just nothing but great that comes out of something like this. And that's how it should be. That's where it's supposed to be. That ballpark is meant for it. The crowds are going to be amazing this weekend, as long as, knock on wood, the weather. Let's see what that's like. I know it's way, way, way out. Early forecast. Hopefully it's not a Thursday. Actually, would you guys rather a Thursday start or a Friday start? Possibly end on Monday or guarantee that you're done on the weekend. Either way, here we'll start with Thursday. Thursday, chance of rain, 35%, whatever. High of 80. Friday, guys, stunning. high of 76 and sunny. Saturday, high of 79 and sunny. Hold on one second. My little guy's yelling for me. Hold on. Sorry about that. Sunday, high of 81 and partly cloudy. The weather in Oxford is supposed to be absolutely stunning. So there you go. I'm sorry again. Hold on. Sorry, guys. One second. Hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We have hit a. we've hit, uh, anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, um, where was I? Weather stunning. Postseason baseball order has been restored to Oxford. That is where it should be. That's where it needs to be. Now, how did they get there? A deep run in the SEC tournament going into this weekend. They were not projected to be by really anybody a regional host. And should they have been? Yeah, but that's a different conversation entirely. So they play Florida on Wednesday. You get, and we talked about this. Oh, no, we didn't talk about it. We did not because I wasn't here. You get an outstanding performance from Hunter Elliott. He has absolutely peaked at the exact right time. Mason Morris, Connor Spencer slammed the door. Beautiful pitching performance. And especially when you're going up against Peterson from Florida, an elite level arm. And that was one of the hottest teams in the SEC going into that week as well. And so Ole Miss gets great pitching there. They turn around and Arkansas, one of the best teams in all of college baseball, a team that went to Oxford and took to earlier this season, as you guys know. And quite simply, they pitched and slammed the door again. Riley Maddox, really good, 5 2/3, only gave up a couple of runs, struck out 7. McCausland a little shaky there, but he came back later and was excellent. Mason Morris and Connor Spencer yet again slammed the door. And oh, by the way, Arkansas. God bless the Arkansas fans out there. Ole Miss football goes to Fayetteville, scores 63 points. Ole Miss basketball wins there, and then also the Sean Padula buzzer beater to eliminate them from the SEC tournament in basketball. Baseball eliminates them from the SEC tournament, and then softball goes to Fayetteville and punches their ticket to the College World Series for the first time ever. Got to be a pretty pretty awful time to be an Arkansas fan. But again, excellent pitching yet again. And then LSU, another one of the best teams in all of college baseball. Cade Townsend, excellent, 4 2/3. I think he could have gotten that third out in the 5th, but still made a good choice to go to Dennis. Dennis, excellent yet again, 2 1/3, no hit. Will McCausland struck out 2 in his 1 inning of work, did not give up a hit. And then Connor Spencer slams the door yet again. And then even today, I know Ole Miss didn't win the game today. The bats, I don't know, how concerned you should be considering the elite competition, but Walker Hooks really good. Had one real mistake pitch, but if I'd have told you in the SEC championship, young Walker Hooks is going to give you 4 complete and give up a couple of runs, you would have absolutely taken that. Rabe gives up just the 1 run in 2 innings, and then Calhoun just 1 hit over 2 innings. Ole Miss's pitching staff was absolutely unbelievable. They gave up 6 runs in Hoover. They made it to the SEC championship, and that Ole Miss pitching staff, those pitchers gave up 6 total runs, and they played teams with RPIs of 16, 5, 10, and 1. That's who they played in the SEC tournament. 16, 5, 10-1, and they gave up 6 combined runs in those games. No, they did not win the SEC, and you would have loved to have brought a trophy home. Mike Bianco's quotes were also, um, he was disappointed, but you have got to love the way that pitching staff uh, threw this weekend against some of the best teams in the country in a tournament setting like that. And for bullpen arms to step up in a spot like that and the crowds like that against the teams like that was outstanding stuff. I mean, it really was. And that concludes a season. And I know, I mean, they're really only going to be judged by what happens in an Oxford regional, but yet another really, really good coaching job for Mike Bianco. Getting to the point where they got at the end of the regular season was an objectively good coaching job. Here they are again, getting to the SEC championship, just building on that. They evaluated really well out of the portal, clearly done a good job managing, bringing in new pieces and having them acclimate to the team, getting better as the season has gone on. So far, it appears that they've made a really good hire at pitching coach with Mangrum. I mean, again, the pitching staff is peaking at the right time. Young arms stepping up in big spots. This was just there is no other way to describe it. There's nothing else that can be said that is accurate other than that was a really damn good coaching job from Mike Bianco and staff to get to the point that they've gotten. Now, the only thing that matters is what happens this weekend. That's kind of how the sport works, and that's how playoffs work. If they go 2-Q in their own regional, well, then this season people are going to be really, really mad, understandably so. But to get to this point and be in the position that they're in, it's a damn good coaching job. There's no other way around it. There's no other way to describe it. Ole Miss is back to playing at least this season. They are in the position that they should be in relative to the resources that they put into the program, and we'll see if they can capitalize that on that coming up this weekend. So awesome stuff. It was fun to follow this tournament, and I know chicks dig the long ball, as they say. It was a joy watching this pitching staff against the teams that they faced this week. And I mean, record crowd in the LSU game. They had a record crowd. And the guys that shut LSU's offense down, 2 hits, no runs, were Cade Townsend, Gunnar Dennis, Will McCausland, and then, of course, Connor Spencer. It's big-time stuff. That is absolutely big-time stuff. We'll get to your comments after I tell you the podcast is brought to you in part by Advantage Business Systems. Check them out online at absms.com. Advantage Business Systems has you covered for all of your Mississippi office technology needs. Tell them I sent you, by the way. You'll get a complimentary office technology assessment. So you tell them what you need and what your budget is, and they will find a solution for you on me. That's Advantage Business Systems, absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, again, for all of your office technology needs. Also, the podcast is brought to you in part by Priority One Bank. They make you their priority with their 16 locations here in Mississippi. So very likely to be one in your backyard, and you can bank with me at Priority One Bank. Great online banking platform. It's awesome. And also local loan servicing and decision-making, so you don't need to get on the phone or talk to somebody out of state to get a loan. They'll do it right here with you, and they'll get to know you because Priority One Bank, again, will make you their priority. First comment, Ole Miss softball going to the World Series. Yes, they are. Very cool moment. I'm not going to pretend like I've been following that team all year. I'm not going to be a faker when it comes to something like that. I'm just not. But that's cool to see. Softball is a fun sport to watch. I know in other places it's quite popular, and the Women's College World Series draws a really good number television-wise, so a lot of good exposure for the program. And Coach Traxel's done a good job, clearly, getting to the College World Series, the Women's College World Series for the first time. And then they're on the opposite bracket of Oklahoma. So that is that's helpful, being on the opposite side of the bracket as Oklahoma. So good on them. Good on them there. Really cool. When do tickets go on sale? Let me see. I don't think they send this kind of stuff to the no, see, I've only gotten about credentials. Let me see if this one says something. No, I have I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I'm sure they'll put a release out soon. Looks like the team grew up and found a few things. Good to get young guys in difficult situations and not just get them in difficult situations, thrive in those difficult situations. The season has turned into a rousing success for Ole Miss baseball and Mike Bianco. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. Arkansas 24/7 writer Danny West is looking stupid after Ole Miss owned them this year. Man, that's the tweet that keeps on giving. Kudos to him though. He has said he will not delete it. That he said it, and deleting it would be cowardly, and so I give him credit for that. But yeah, Ole Miss absolutely owns Arkansas as of late. So yeah, that new pitching coach seems to be working. Oh, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. Is Mike's job safe? Of course it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's hosting a regional. Yeah, 100%. Went to the game today. First time in Hoover. Pretty cool place. It was just a hard-fought game where Vandy was barely better. No shame in today. Vandy might get the 1 overall seed. They very well could. Man, Ole Miss had a shot. Runners on first and second. Right? Wasn't it first and second? I think it was Reuter, right? They pinched for. Let me see if I can find it. I think that's. I'm embarrassed that I don't remember this. Let's see. Well, I know that in the 9th, yeah, they brought Randall in, but wasn't there a spot earlier in the game as well? Yeah, in the 7th as well. 2 on, 1 out, and then grounded into double play to end that one. And then you had 2 on, albeit with 2 out, and you had a fly out. So Ole Miss had the opportunities, just could not get it done. And that's okay. That's okay. Excited for what I saw from Townsend yesterday. He can be a huge piece in the tournament, especially if Nichols is not ready. For sure. For sure. And honestly, you should be really excited about what you saw for 2026. You don't want to jump the gun, but yeah. Felt a little 2019-esque for a while in Hoover. UCLA getting a host is a joke, 3-7 in quad 1 games. It really is. It really is. Hold on. He's still trying to get my attention. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's look at this, though. So UCLA gets a host. Their RPI is 15, strength of schedule 22, which is wild considering they're 3-7 in quad 1 games, although 11-2 in quad 2 games. So there's that. But I'm sorry. We can't sleep without this, apparently. I'm really sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Goodness. We used to go to bed so easily. Now we don't. Goodness, sorry. So yeah, so UCLA gets a host. Alabama doesn't. Alabama 13 in the RPI, 41-16. So 1 fewer win, same amount of losses as UCLA. 15-12 against the quad 1. 15-12.
1 quad 3 and 4 loss for Alabama, 7 quad 3 and 4 losses for UCLA. Now, Southern Miss. Southern Miss gets a host. 19 in the RPI, 67 strength of schedule, 7 and 5 against the quad 1, 6 and 3 against quad 2, so respectable, right? But not enough games. And it's kind of not their fault. They tried to schedule tough in the non-conference. They really did. They tried to schedule tough, but still, strength of schedule 67, 7 and 5, 6 and 3. Alabama 15 and 12 and 5 and 3. Southern Miss has 6 quad 3 and 4 losses combined to Alabama's 1. It's just nonsense. Happy Sunday to you too. One bad pitch was all the difference today. Unfortunately, proud of the boys all week and proud of the softball team as well. Oh, I just got this message about tickets. Oh, this is about softball. It says, due to team and staff ticket needs, Ole Miss will not have a sale for Women's College World Series tickets. Please visit the link below to purchase directly from the NCAA's website. Wow. That is crazy. That park place so big, Luke Hill nearly made that place explode. Yeah, the home run number is way down this year compared to last year. Same place, but sad to hear that the White Sox sent Elko back to the minors. Do we have any idea why? I mean, I know he had 3 home runs, but there was, what did he have? 28 other at bats, right? And those didn't go particularly well. Didn't get on base much. I know there are other contract things and stuff with MLB, but I did see a lot of Ole Miss people say, well, the White Sox clearly don't want to win, which, probably not. But also, you love your guy, and he's awesome, right? And a great ambassador for the school, and he'll get another shot for sure. But it's not like it went perfectly. It's not like it's unfounded. He's just going to have to, continue to grind, and when he gets another shot, get on base a little bit more. They don't start regionals on Thursday, only supers unless it's changed. No, they definitely start regionals on Thursday. They do half and half. Right? I thought they did. They used to do half and half, right? Am I crazy? Well, AI is bad. I don't know. I'm sorry if I misinformed. That's my bad. That's totally my bad. But I swear they did half on Thursday and half on Friday. They used to do that. I know they used to do that. Right? Y'all help me out. Couldn't be happier for Ole Miss softball. Get a new stadium and get in the World Series in the same season. Yeah. Next thing is hosting in that stadium. Offense was an issue in Hoover, but I think some of that is attributed to the park and who they faced. Absolutely. I'm not concerned yet. I mean, some of the best teams in college baseball, big park. It's a team that kind of lives on home runs anyway. So, best week of Ole Miss pitching since the College World Series? No kidding. First time I'd watched a softball team. So much fun. First trip. Yeah, softball is a fun sport. Moves fast. Would have started Calhoun today, but Hooks did a good job. However, his pitch to contact would not have fared well in Swayze. Got lucky with Rabe escaping. They did, but he did. Another thing that impressed you was the defense was playing so solid. They have a single error. There was 3 in the Florida game. 3 in the Florida game. None in the Arkansas game, although you could count that collision, I suppose. None yesterday. And 1 today. Really like Bianco's speech to the team after the game. I need to seek that out. I only saw the press conference. Shout out to Little Rock making the tournament. Quality loss. It is not. Ended up working out, though, huh? Starting to peak at the right time as a team, but that has to carry into a regional. You hope it does. They keep trying to bury 5, but they always forget the nails. Think about how the team has responded since losing in Starkville. Yeah, I mean, they lose to Mississippi State. They win the Auburn series, should have swept, and then they go on this run. Who would have thought the softball team would go to the World Series too? Projected 15th as well. So I think it was 14th, right? They were second to last, but the SEC has 15 softball teams. What is it, Vanderbilt that doesn't play softball? LSU game in particular is one of the best, if not the best, pitched games since 2022. Absolutely. I mean, scattered 2 hits, did have the 1 error, but and it's, Spencer's been their closer, but they got the first 7 innings from guys that have not given them high leverage stuff this year. Like they haven't been put in those high leverage situation stuff this year. Softball also avoids the other 4 SEC teams on the other side of the bracket. Yeah, seriously, especially Oklahoma. Oklahoma's on the other side. If they can find their swing, I could see a deep run. Hope they keep the pitching coach this offseason. I have a feeling he's going to get a pretty fat raise. So half the regionals are SEC teams. Should have been more. Should have been more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Should have been 9. That's a committee getting like college political. So that's what that is. Who do I think will go to Hattiesburg, Alabama, or State? I mean, history tells you it's going to be Mississippi State, right? History tells you that's what it's going to be. Pitching is hot. If they can pitch half that good in the postseason, they'll be in Omaha. They certainly can. I mean, with the way Elliott's the way he is right now, I mean, you feel confident in almost guaranteeing yourself game 1. That's huge. If Ole Miss is matched across from a non-SEC team, there's certainly a path to Omaha there. Or if a 2-seed upends a team like UNC and gives Ole Miss a super host. I mean, part of me thinks that you should hope that they get matched across from Oregon or Coastal Carolina. I mean, those would be the dream too, I think. Right? Oregon really good though. 9-1 against quad 1, 3-1 against quad 2, but they have 12 quad 3 and 4 losses combined. And then Coastal Carolina, just competition level. Very good team though. 9th in the RPI. Cruise through the Sun Belt. Only team in the SEC I'd maybe gamble with Ole Miss in a super is with Auburn. Most Alabama fans don't care. Probably don't care, but they deserve a regional. No, they don't care. Thought the commentary was pretty poor this week on the SEC Network, and today with James Franklin and Greg Sankey was a joke. I get the Sankey part of it. The Franklin thing is just truly bizarre. I mean, who cares? Well, why is he in the dugout anyway? He left Vanderbilt. He chose to leave Vanderbilt. And nobody watching gives a crap if James Franklin is there. It's not like he was Vanderbilt. Penn State football coach James Franklin is here. And then they're cutting to his face in the 9th inning of a 1-run championship game. That's stupid. That's stupid. And then, look, going to bat for Southern Miss and UCLA and against SEC teams on the SEC network is something. That's something. If that was football, would that fly? No. So one of Georgia Tech or TCU's probably coming to Oxford. That's what I'd bet on. That's what I'd bet on. You're right. See, I'm such an idiot. You're right. Southern Miss fans are going to be pissed seeing State in their regional. Mississippi State. I would bet, if I had to bet, on Mississippi State winning a Southern Miss regional. If I had to bet, that's what I would bet on. The Big Ten is almost non-existent in baseball. Yeah, and their two regional hosts are Pac-12 teams that they absorbed recently. All the tweets about Ole Miss needing more to host. Yeah, my favorite one was Ole Miss beats the Dodgers to win the World Series. Kyle Peterson. I think Ole Miss just needs to win one more to be in the hosting conversation. That was my favorite one, for sure. But yeah, it was odd. It was odd. I don't think commentators, hate a particular school. I don't think Kyle Peterson hates Ole Miss. He's got a kid at Ole Miss, I believe. But sometimes they have ideas, and it's different when you're like just on a radio show. You're supposed to have opinions all day. A little bit different when you're broadcasting on the SEC network to advocate on behalf of schools that are not in the SEC to get host sites ahead of SEC schools. That is just definitely an interesting decision when you look at it that way. So anyway, good stuff. I appreciate you guys. I got to get somebody to bed. He's still not doing what he should be doing. So I'm going to go take care of that. We will be back live on Tuesday to talk about the bracket and what it looks like and who's in Ole Miss's regional and all that good stuff. We will do that on Tuesday, and I'm really looking forward to doing that together with you guys. So I appreciate you. I'm so glad you're here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And a really good day, a really good week for Ole Miss baseball and Ole Miss sports in general. Football was disappointing in their 10 wins. Basketball goes to the Sweet 16. Softball goes to the College World Series. Baseball hosting a regional. Hell, both golf teams made the national championship. And although the women didn't make the cut, they still made the national championship tournament. And then the men with a good day tomorrow are going to make match play, which is the top 8. So women basketball Sweet 16. What a year. It's not over yet, but holy crap. What a year for Ole Miss sports. So appreciate you guys. I will see you on Tuesday. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and see you then.